Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Etude House Play Color Eyes Tiger Energy eyeshadow palette. I think that's what it's called. I think it's just the Play Color Eyes from the Tiger Energy collection. I picked this up for the Lunar New Year and I showed it to you guys in my Get Ready With Me, and I've been using it for a few weeks afterwards, and I think I have finally figured out what I can say about this palette. So in this review we'll be having a product description, packaging, swatches, application, and final thoughts. So if you'd like to skip to any of those points, please do so now. So for the product description, this one says, in collaboration with Music Tiger, Etude has come out with two 9-color eyeshadow palettes with matte and glitter finishes so you can create your own various looks. The Joyful Tiger palette comes in bright and vibrant colors like peach, coral, and lilac pink. The Sleepy Tiger palette comes in darker berry-like colors with golden brown, plum, and glossy leather. The packaging of the product is extremely cute. I really enjoy the tiger motif throughout this entire range, and I have the Sleepy Tiger one. So I have the little tiger on the front that is sleeping. The secondary touch that I really like about this is the little divider on the inside actually has another details little tiger that is like tucked up in bed, and oh, I just love it. I also really like that it has the shade names on the back in English as well in the grid shape. That is also really helpful for me personally. Other than that, it really is just your standard Etude House palette. There are 9 shadows in the collection, and I would say that they have like a cool toned pink sort of vibe to them. The description says that it's darker berry-like colors, and I'm gonna utterly disagree with that. I don't see any dark berry colors, even berry-like colors. They're all quite pale actually, apart from the last brown, so I don't know what's happening there. The first shade is called Winter Scent, and this one is a pale pink matte. I think that you can barely see it on my eye. It's very sheer, and I find this one quite hard to work with because you can't see it very much. The next shade is called Shiny Shy Tiger, and this one is a beautiful shimmery color. It doesn't have much base color, but the shimmers appear to be kind of pink and blue, and I think it looks really cute. I use this one a lot. The next matte shade is called Snowy Afternoon, and this one is a light taupey kind of brown. This one is also very difficult to see. It is very pale, and it really doesn't build up to any significant color, and I find this one quite hard to work with. On the next row, the first one is called Favorite Sweater, and this one is a really cool pink shimmer. I think that this one actually works really well, and I struggled to put it together with the rest of the palette, but the shade on its own is really nice. It almost has like a metallic-y finish that I think is really cool. Stay in Bed is the pink matte color in the center. This one has a lot more pigment than the other two, but it is still quite a pale shade in comparison to like any other palette that you might own. It shows up on my eye and it works, but it doesn't actually work in with the rest of the colors because it is like a very like bubblegum pink in comparison. Inner Dance is a really nice rose glitter. This one has quite a strong base pigment. It is a really nice color, I love it. And it has a really faint sort of goldish glitter over the top. This one looks really beautiful on its own, and it actually matches really well with a few of those darker browns. Lazy Night is a brown that has just a hint of a more silver shimmer in it. This one is a really nice shade, but I almost wish that they didn't put the shimmer in it because it doesn't really give that much payoff, and it stops it from being like my favorite transition color of the palette. It is a really nice brown though, but again, I just don't particularly like that shimmer. Sleepy Tiger is a really cool looking shade. It kind of looks like a bunch of different shades in the palette, and then it looks like a caramelly brown with greenish gold shimmer on the lid. It's a really unique color and I like it a lot. I don't find it that helpful with the rest of the colors, but it is definitely unique. The last shade is called Hot Chocolate, and this one is a deep matte brown. This one, like any other matte brown, looks like I've punched myself in the face and it looks like a bruise. It's really bad, doesn't blend out very well, but it makes a really great like outer corner deepening shade. So if you use it lightly, I think it's really good, but definitely not one that I would put over the entire lid like I did here. For this look, I used Stay in Bed over the crease and Favorite Sweater on the rest of the eyelid. I also used a white liquid liner, and I was going to put pink over the top, but I thought it looked kind of cute with just white, so I left it like that. The two colors go really well together, and this pink is definitely more pigmented than the other two matte colors. For this look, I used Lazy Night all over the eye and then Sleepy Tiger over the top of the lid. I found that Lazy Night was really difficult for me to blend, to get like a really smooth blend. And then Sleepy Tiger had much more pigment than anticipated, so actually layering them didn't work the best, but I think that the look turned out okay in the end. Not my favourite to work with though. So to create this look I used Inner Dance all over the lid, Hot Chocolate in the outer third, and Shiny Shy Tiger on the inner third of my lower lash line. I don't mind the look, it's very cute and pink, but it's probably a little bit dark for my everyday wear personally. So for this palette, I really wanted to like it. However, I found it very limiting to actually use because the matte shadows are so light. They're so pale and they're so chalky. Even I had trouble getting them to show on my eyelids, and my skin is more on the pale side. So I was like, who is actually going to be able to use these? Again, Etude House does a really lovely job on the glitters, and I really liked using all of those glitters and shimmers. I think that I might have managed to hit all of them for applications or looks. But yeah, I found the mattes just way too light. So the lightest one here is a light pink, and that you can barely see. You can see it, but you can barely see it. The taupe, again, you can just see it. It's look like the most tiny shadow, but it's there just barely. I'm wearing the pinks at the moment, so I'm wearing the middle pink shade, which is called Stay in Bed, and then the leftmost, which is called Favorite Sweater, and those look really pretty, but again, very hard to see. And I really did pack the shadows on, like I really was trying to get the pigmentation to build up. It just wasn't happening for me. I think for me personally, at this stage in my life where I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, I don't have room for something that only works for a few colors, and I don't have room for a palette in my life at the moment where I can't utilize the mattes, because to me the three matte colors, with the exception to that dark brown, which was very hard to blend anyway, are kind of useless. You can't see them. So I could never travel with this palette because I'd need to bring another backup palette to get like a matte transition shade, because I am boring and I always do the same look, which includes a matte transition shade. So even though the glitters are really beautiful and the palette itself is so cute, it's just not functional. And again, this is my own personal preference for the shadows. However, I think that most people are going to struggle with pigmentation on those lighter matte shadows as well. If you like the glittery ones, I would highly suggest picking up either one of these palettes actually, the Dusty. I've got mine in the Pastel Dream. This one is a really similar sort of like cool toned pinky shades. Those glitters are beautiful. Or if you're like a real glitter fiend, get the Inlissia Glitterpedia eye palette #1 all of glitter, because it has all of the glitters that you could basically find. I mean, not all of them, but you know what I mean, like it's very good. It's really similar. You've got a lot of similar shadows for those glitters in both of these palettes, so skip out on the less than great mattes. I'm really disappointed with this one because I thought that I was going to like it a lot, and it's just like you can't see it. You just can't see it. So unfortunately, this is not a palette that I could recommend to many people unless you are like a total beginner in eyeshadow and you really want those like barely there matte colors with a few glitters. Maybe this would be a good option for you, but if you're experienced in eyeshadow and you like pigmentation, or at least the ability to build up pigment, it's one that I would suggest skipping on. The packaging is really cute though, so it has that going for it. So thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!